1, 2, 3, 4. So let's say you can't go to the monastery. You can take 8 precepts at home, right? So tomorrow we're going to be doing a program. So all of you, if you're not going to the monastery, you can join us. Okay? So we're going to be learning lots of things. Okay? So if you're not going to be able to go to the monastery, you can take 8 precepts at home. Okay? And the whole day you can learn Dhamma. Okay? All right. So I hope everyone was having a good week. So today, what we're going to learn has to do with horses. Who here likes horses? Like horses? Okay. Do you, have you ever, who here has ridden a horse before? Who here has rode on a horse before? Okay, maybe a pony? Ponies? Don't ride on a donkey. He might kick you off his back. So it's not very cool to even ride on a donkey. So okay, very good. So horses are very nice. And today we're going to learn just a few points on how in the time of Buddha, there was this horse trainer. Okay, so he was talking about how he trains his horses, right? And so in this sermon, the Buddha tells how he tames his students. Okay, so who are his students? Monks, right? So who is your teacher? Your teacher is the Supreme Buddha. Our teacher is the Supreme Buddha. So today we're going to learn how the Buddha tames his disciples. Okay, so the sermon's name is called Patoda Sutta. Very small sermon, okay? Let's see if we can all learn this and remember it well, okay? Bhikkhus, these 4 fine thoroughbred horses. What's a thoroughbred? Are talking about bread? No, right? What's bread? Thoroughbred. Are they talking about pang bread? No, right? So thoroughbred horses means the best type of horse, right? So are you the best type of child? I guess I have to ask your parents that, right? So some children are A+ children. Some children are C+ children, right? In the same way, horses are just like that. Some horses are A+. You just tell them to yip yip, or you say some sort of name, and then they just run, right? But some horses you say, yeah, let's go. And then does the horse run? No, he just stands there. Some horses, if you like tell them, okay, it's time to go, what do some horses do? They sit down right on the spot. Or sometimes some horses sleep. So here the Buddha explains how there are these different types of horses. So here the first one is 1 fine thoroughbred. So all of these horses are good types of horses. 1 fine thoroughbred is moved to act when it sees the shadow of the goad. You know what a goad means? It's like a whip. You know, have you seen in horse races? They go and they hit the horse, right? So here, they don't even have to hit the horse. This is an excellent horse. He sees just the shadow of the stick, the goad. And the horse thinks to himself, what task will the horse trainer have me do today? How should I respond? So as soon as that horse sees the shadow of the stick, what happens? The horse is thinking, oh, the trainer needs something from me. He might need me to run or to jump. So he's very obedient, okay? So some fine thoroughbreds are like that. Not all of them, some of them. This is the first thoroughbred found in the world, okay? So let's see the second. The first one is the horse sees the shadow of the whip, okay, the stick. and he becomes obedient. The second one fine thoroughbred isn't moved to act when it sees the shadow of the goad. So now the horse is there. The horse is there. He's saying Nina, and now the trainer comes with the stick. Okay, and so is the horse? Did he get scared? No, he didn't get scared. Did the horse think to himself, "Oh, I should be obedient to his teacher"? No, he's just there. Doesn't care that much, looking around here and there, right? Just like when I come into the program, some kids are just looking around here and there, you know. Some when I come into the program, some children are like, "Oh, Swaminathan came. We have to stand up," right? So here the horse sees the shadow of the goad, but he doesn't care that much. But only when its hairs are struck. So he just kind of brushes the hair with the stick. Then the horse thinks, what task will the horse trainer have me do today? How should I respond? Okay. So some really good horses are there where they don't hit them. When they come with the stick, they're not scared. But when you just touch them a little bit, they become obedient. Third one. Furthermore, one fine thoroughbred isn't moved to act when it sees the shadow. So does the horse care when he sees the shadow of the stick? Nope. Nor when its hairs are struck. So when he kind of touches the hair of the horse, does the horse care? He's not obedient. He's not obedient. But only when its hide is struck. So only when he hits the horse becomes obedient. Okay? So when he hits the horse thinks to himself, what task will the horse trainer have me do today? How should I respond? How should I behave? What should I do to be pleasing to my trainer? So this is the third one. So what was the first one? Do you remember? First one is the horse sees the shadow of the stick and becomes obedient. The second one, when the horse's hairs are struck, just kind of like lightly touched, he becomes obedient. The third one, when his hide is struck, so when he gets struck, that's when he's obedient. The fourth one, furthermore, one fine thoroughbred isn't moved to act when it sees the shadow. So he doesn't care when he sees the shadow. When the horse trainer touches the horse's hair, again, he doesn't care. Okay? When the hide is struck, when he gives a small spank, does the horse care? No. But only when its bone is struck. Oh, that's terrible, right? Like when the horse, only when he gets hit to the bone, that's when the horse comes to his senses. Okay, he thinks, oh, what task will the horse trainer have me do today? How should I respond? So is the fourth horse the best or the first one? The first one's awesome. And then the second one, you have to touch the horse. Hey, buddy, it's time to go. Say some nice words. And then he becomes obedient. The third horse, you say some words. Hey, let's go. What does he do? He still stays the same. So then, just like sometimes maybe some of your parents, do they like give you punishments at home? I don't know. When we were children, we got punished sometimes. So, so here the horse got struck. Okay, so only then did he come to his senses. The third one, and then the fourth one is when he got hit really hard, all the way to his bone. That's when the horse was like, maybe he gave a big hee-haw. You know how horses laugh? Like he might give like a funny laugh or a sad laugh, and then he thinks to himself, oh, the trainer needs me to do something. Okay, so all of those horses are good. Why? Because they're obedient, right? At the very least, even though he gets hit, he's obedient, right? So these are what you called thoroughbreds. thoroughbred. Okay? All right. Look, let's see what the Buddha has to say next. In the same way, these 4 fine thoroughbred people are found in the world. What for? In the same way, there are people. Okay? Just like that. So, one fine thoroughbred person. So here the Buddha says thoroughbred as a person. Okay? So a really good person hears about someone died. Someone died in their village or town. Okay? So if you live in Colombo, you come to know, oh, someone died in Colombo. Right? If you're living in America, you live in New York, you come to know, hey, someone died just outside your street. Okay? Normally what happens when we hear that? Do we care? We just shrug our shoulders, right? Oh yeah, everyone dies, right? But when this person hears that someone died, what happens? They're moved to act by this. They become surprised, and then they put in effort. Okay? So what happens is, you know how normally we don't care when people die in the world? But you know Prince Siddhartha, when he saw the old person, right? And sick person and dead person, did he just like not care? Did he just go back to his palace? No, he thought about it. Why do people get old? Why do people get sick? Why do people die? Right? So with that, he became anxious. So when we hear people die, what should we do? We should get anxious. We should think, how can I practice good qualities? How can I get rid of bad qualities? Okay, children? So when you hear someone died, what do you think? Okay, you know what? Next time, I'm not going to get angry. If Amma tells me something, I'm going to be patient. They make effort. They put an effort to develop themselves, to realize the ultimate truth and penetrate with wisdom. So this person is just like the horse that sees the shadow of the stick. Okay, is that clear? Do you understand now? So when someone dies, and when we hear about someone who died, we have to think, I'm also, one day my life is going to finish. So what should I do? What should we do before we die? We should try to develop good things, patience. When we have a chance to give, what should we do? Hold on to it? No, give it up, right? If you have a little sibling, a little brother or sister, now you really want to eat that chocolate. There's just one more chocolate. What should you do? You should try to give it, right? And you shouldn't be selfish. These are the good thoughts we should come to our mind. Okay? So let's see what the next one is. Okay. So furthermore, another good person, thoroughbred person, good person, they don't hear that someone died in their town or village. They didn't get to hear. Okay, the news didn't come to them. But they see it themselves. Have you ever seen someone die before? No? It is terrible. So when you see someone die, your mind starts racing, like, whoa, what am I supposed to do? Is this actually real? We think like that. So when we hear that someone died, do we care too much? No, we don't really care too much. But when we see for ourselves, oh my goodness, that person died, then what happens? Our whole world shakes up. And then we should think to ourselves, I need to put in effort. Effort to do what? To develop good deeds. So, dear children, you probably remember we learned how to practice loving kindness, right? So, I don't know if you remember, we told you to try practicing loving kindness when you go to school. Do you practice? So as soon as you come into the school, right? Maybe you see a big title of your school, right? The big name of your school, Thomas L. Wells or something, right? Public school. So then you see that big school name. The first thing you should come to your mind? May all beings in this school be well and happy. And then when you get onto the school bus, may all kids in this bus be well and happy. So we don't do that sometimes, right? Why? Because we forget that one day we're going to die. One day we're going to pass away. And the chance for us to practice these things will go away, right? So while we still have the chance, we should practice, because not every lifetime do we get to listen to the Buddha's teachings, okay? So the first one was, they hear about someone dying, and then they become shocked, and they practice the Dhamma. The second one was, they see a person die. They become shocked, and then they think about practicing the Dhamma, practicing what they learned at Dhamma school, right? So let's see the third person, okay? So the second person is just like that horse when his hair gets struck, right? At first, that horse didn't get scared or shocked, but when the trainer comes and touches his hair, he became shocked, okay? And then the third one is, furthermore, one fine thoroughbred person doesn't hear about the suffering. He doesn't care if someone died in their village, right? Nor do they see it themselves. They don't see that someone died. But it happens to their own relative or family member. Okay? So, hands up here, who has ever lost a family member? Okay. So like maybe your grandma, or maybe a relative or someone, right? So we've all lost relatives before, right? So here the Buddha says, when that happens, what should you think? You should think, even though I may be teeny tiny, maybe you might be 3 feet tall, 4 feet tall, or 5 feet tall. Are you free? Are you going to live forever? No, right? So even though you're small, you can always practice developing good deeds, okay? So that's why you should think this, I'm a person who might die one day. So what should we do? Every day, practice loving kindness. Every day. Every day, try to give, right? That's why we do these good deed sessions and things like this. So that way we think about doing more and more good things before it's too late. Because once it's too late, you can't take back the time. Okay? So even for me, I remember I was a child just like you. But now we can't take that time back. That time is over. It's finished. We can't be small again. So in the same way, you all have to try your best to do good deeds. So that way your life becomes beautiful. Okay? Or else maybe you might be small and cute, but if you have a terrible heart, what happens? Is your life beautiful? No. There's some children that are so evil, right? So you don't want to become an evil child, right? Try to be a nice, pure, beautiful child inside and out, okay? And here comes the fourth person, okay? Furthermore. You know what furthermore means? Furthermore. Again. So again, one fine thoroughbred person, another good person, he doesn't hear about the suffering or death of a person. He doesn't hear that someone died in their village. Or he doesn't see someone die. Okay? Or it doesn't happen to his family member. His family members don't die. But you know what happens? To you yourself. to you yourself are afflicted with physical pain, to you yourself you get pain, sharp, severe, acute, unpleasant, disagreeable, and life-threatening. So who here has had like a flu so bad that you can't even get out of bed, and your parents can't help you, right? Or maybe you had a stomach ache so terrible, it's like someone's cutting up your stomach and taking out your stomach and putting in different stuff inside your tummy, right? Or maybe you have an earache, right? Maybe someone's like, it feels like someone's jamming in stuff into your ear, right? Maybe you have a toothache. Who has had a toothache? It feels like someone's like pulling it. I see some of you don't even have like some teeth. So, and then what else is there? The Buddha explains, like in this whole another meditation, there's this meditation where he just explains all illnesses. And like he tells the monks to just think about that. Isn't that amazing? That's not something we would do, right? He says, the Buddha says, think there we might have cancer. Think we might have sicknesses, bodily pain, mental pain. In that way, monks used to meditate like that. So that way they're not so attached to the body. Okay? So we don't tell you to do that. We just tell you to do once in a while, try to remember that you yourself can become sick, right? So here, when you get sick like this, what do you need to think about? You need to think about taking a Tylenol or a Panadol. You might need to take that. But here the Buddha says, a true disciple, they are moved to act by this. When you get sick, you think, you know what? I'm a person who's getting sick. This might be life-threatening. This might endanger my life. I should do good deeds quickly. I should strive effectively. That means put in effort to do good deeds. So the Buddha, when he talks about effort, he talks about not effort like Usain Bolt running or like Michael Phelps swimming, right? That's a different type of effort. Here, the Buddha talks about effort as getting rid of the bad stuff in your mind. Think to yourself for a second, children. Are you someone who gets jealous? Do you get jelly time to time? If you get jealous, think to yourself, I'm going to get rid of jealousy. I'm going to get rid of jealousy. Do you ever think about other people's good qualities? Wow, Samantha is a really nice person. She's very generous. Or maybe Jason always helps me when I'm in need, right? So if you don't think like that, you should start to learn. Think about the people around you in your house. Oh, Amma's always there for me. Tata's always there for me. If you don't think like that, start thinking like that. So that way you don't be jealous, right? Some children, I know in school, some children are they have too much pride. Are you like that? Conceited? So some children go to school and they keep their head up like this, and they don't let anyone talk to them, and they don't talk to anybody else. They have too much pride. Are you like that? So if you're like that, you have to come to your senses and think, I'm a person who's subject to death. I'm a person who can get sick sometimes. So I'm gonna get rid of this conceit and pride before it's too late. Because children, once you get older, it's too late. Okay? Because the good habits we do right now, we bring with us later. Okay? So these are the 4 fine. So the first horse was, he sees the shadow. The horse sees the shadow of the stick, and then he comes to his senses. The second one is, when the hair of the horse gets struck, he comes to his senses. He becomes obedient. Third one is when he gets hit, when he actually gets hit, the horse becomes obedient. The fourth one is when its bone is struck. Oh man, that must be terrible. When the horse gets hit straight into his bones, that's when the horse comes to his senses. He becomes obedient. Okay? Have you ever seen a horse before? Maybe there's some people who haven't seen a horse. Here's a horse, picture of a horse. So this is a picture of a thoroughbred horse. Who knows if it's a thoroughbred or not? So you see he has nice hair, so maybe when that horse sees the stick, he becomes scared. Or maybe not scared, he becomes obedient. The second one is when he touches the hair. See, he has nice hair. Touches the hair, he becomes obedient. And the third one is when he hits his hide. So you see he hits his body. That's when he becomes obedient. And the fourth one is when he hits him all the way to his bones. Like he hits him really bad, all the way into his bones. Then, only then does the horse become obedient. So which horse are you? The horse that gets struck into his bones, maybe? So you don't wait until for life to hit you to your bones, right? It only takes a few years, I think. By the time you're 20 and 25, life will hit you like a big bus, right? Okay, so in the same way, the first horse is just like the person when they hear that someone died in their village or town, they become obedient. They think to themselves, I should develop good deeds, I should do good things. Next person, they don't hear about someone dying, they see themselves. Third person, someone in their family, in their relatives, their relatives die. And the fourth one is you yourself get sick. So that is just like the horse that gets hit all the way to his bone. Okay? Very good. All right. So, do you have any questions? No, right? Very good. So you see, this is what the Buddha says. Like, this is how the Buddha teaches how to tame his disciples, right? So, okay, very good. So now, let us take a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back and we can practice some meditation, okay? All right. Namo Buddhaya.
Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo Buddhaya, Namo.
මේ ගාථාව වදාළේ හත්තාරෝහක පුත්ත රහතන් වහන්සේ. ඉස්සර මගේ හිත ආසාව ඇතිවන සෑම අරමුණකම හිතු මනාපෙට කැරකි ගියා. එහෙත් දැන් මේ සිතට නිග්‍රහ කරලා හොඳ නුවණකින් යුක්තව මං සිත දමනය කරගත්තා. මද කිපුණ ඇතික්ව හින්දුවකින් පාලනය කරනවා වගේ.
බුද්ධාය නමෝ බුද්ධාය නමෝ
චන්දනං තකර මල්ලිකා න පුප්පගන්ධෝ පටිවාතමේති න චන්දනං තකර මල්ලිකාවා සතංච ගන්ධෝ පටිවාතමේති සබ්වාතිසාස පුරිසෝ පවාති.
The scent of flowers does not go against the wind. The scent of sandalwood, jasmine, and rosebud does not go against the wind. But the scent of a grateful person does travel against the wind. The scent of his virtues spreads in all directions. So, meritorious Dhamma friends, let's all become virtuous people whose qualities spread in all directions. Namo Buddhaya.
බුද්ධාය නමෝ බුද්ධාය නමෝ
සාදු සාදු සාදු. Say after me. සුඛිනෝවත අරහන්තෝ තණ්හා තේසන්න විජ්ජති. Happy indeed are the arahants. No craving can be found in them. Asmimano samuchinno mohajalang padalitang. Cut off is the conceit I am. Burst asunder is delusion's net. Anejante anupatta Chittang tesang anavilang. They have reached the unstirred state. Limpid are their minds. Loke anupalittate Brahma bhuta anasava. They are unsullied in the world, the holy ones without taints. Panchakhandhe parinyaya satta saddhamma gochara. Having fully understood the five aggregates, rooted in seven qualities, pasansiya sappurisa putta buddhassa orasa. They are praiseworthy superior men, sons born from the Buddha's heart, සත්තරතන සම්පන්නා තේසු සික්ඛාසු සික්ඛිතා endowed with the 7 gems, trained in the threefold training, anuvicharanti mahavira pahina bhaya bhairava. Those great heroes wander about with fear and trembling abandoned. Dasahangehi sampanna mahanaga samahita endowed with the 10 factors. Those great sages concentrated. Ete khosetta lokasmin tanha te sanna vijjati are the best beings in the world. No craving can be found in them. Asekhañānaṁ uppannaṁ antimoyaṁ samussayo. The final knowledge has arisen in them. This body is the last I bear. Yosaro brahmacharyassa tasmin aparapacchaya.
පිංගතුනි යසෝදරා උත්තමාවිය කියන්නේ කවුද කියලා මං කිව්වේ තේරෙන්නේ පිරිනුවම් පාණ්ඩයක්දී. ඇගේ ගුණ කඳ ඔක්කොම ඉස්මතු වෙන්නේ පිරිනුවම් පාණ්ඩේ. ඊට පස්සේ ඒ සිදුහත් කුමාරයන් දුටු සෙනින් සංසාරේ ආදරේ සෙනෙහස මත වුණා. සිදුහත් කුමරටද යසෝදරාව දුටු සෙනින් සසරක ආදරේ සෙනෙහස මත වුණා. ඒ යසෝදරාවන් ඇත්තටම පින්වත්නි යසෝදරාවන් පිනිස නෙවෙයි මේ ශිල්ප දක්වන්න ඕනේ. මහ බෝධිසත්වයන්ගේ යසෝදරාවන්ට හිත ගිහිල්ලත් ඉවරයි. යසෝදරාවන්ට මහ බෝධිසත්වයන්ගේ හිත ගිහිල්ලත් ඉවරයි. කුමරෙක් අභිෂේක කරනකොට අන්තම්පුරයක් තවත් ස්ත්‍රීන් මේ මාලිගාවට ගේනවා. රජවරු කැමති වුණේ සිදුවක් කුමාරයාට තව දියණිවරු දෙන්න ශිල්ප නැහැ කියලා. එතකොට තමයි අනේක විද ශිල්ප දැක්ුවේ. ඒ ශිල්ප වචනෙන් කියන්න බෑ. හේතුව අද කාලේ තියෙන යුද්ධ ශිල්ප ඒවා කිව්වොත් මේ තුවක්කු දැකලානේ මිනිස්සුන්ට පුරුදු. ඊතලෙන් කරන ශිල්ප, දුන්නෙන් කරන ශිල්ප, කඩුවෙන් කරන ශිල්ප, ශරීරයෙන් කරන ශිල්ප අද මිනිස්සු දැකලවත් නැහැ. මහා බෝධිසත්වයන්ට ශරීර ශක්තිය තිබ්බ මහා නාරායන සංඝාත බලය කියලා. ඇතුම් කෝටි 10000ක ශක්තියක්. මේ ලෝකේ ඉන්නේ මිනිස්සුත් කෝටි 700යි. මේ මිනිස්සු ඔක්කොම එකතු වෙලා කඹයක් ඇද්දොත් මහ බෝධිසත්වයන්ට තියෙන ඇඟිල්ලෙන් මෙහෙම ඇදලා දාන එක විතරයි. එච්චර ශරීර ශක්තිය. ඉතින් මේ සරණ මංගල්‍ය සිද්ධ වුණා. ඒ සරණ මංගල්‍යයේදී මහත් වූ ආශ්චර්ය සිද්ධ වෙන්න ගත්තා. ඒ නිසා තමයි අදටත් මංගල්‍යයක් සිද්ධ වෙද්දී පෝරුවේ නගිනකොට ඒ යසෝදරා සිදුහත් කුමරුගේ ජීවිත කතා කියා අෂ්ටක කියා සිත් පතන්නේ. ඔවුන්ගේ සරණ මංගල්‍ය ආනුභාවයෙන් මේ ලෝකේ විවාහ වන යුවතිපතීන්ට දහස් ගාණක් යුවතිපතීන්ට ආශිර්වාද පිණිස. ඒ නිසා ඒ යසෝදරා උත්තමාවියගේ සරණ මංගල්‍ය විදිහටයි සිද්ධ වුණේ. මාලිගාවේ වාසය කරනවා. මාලිගාවේ වාසය කරද්දී 40000ක් ඉඳලා තියෙනවා මාලිගාවල සිදුහත් කුමාරයාට උපස්ථාන පිණිස අභිරූපී දර්ශනීය රාජ කුමාරිකාවෝ 40000ක්. ඒ 40000 අතරින් වෙනම තරු අතර සඳ මණ්ඩල පේනවා වගේ වෙනම යසෝදරාව පේනවා. අපි අහලා තියෙන්නේ නම් යසෝදරා ගැන මෙහිමයි. ඒ තමයි සක්දිවිඳුගේ බිසව ඉන්නවා, ඇගේ නම සුජා. සුජා දෙවඟනට වැඩිය ලස්සනයි කියනවා යසෝදරා. සාමාන්‍ය සක්විති රජ කෙනෙක්ගේ බිසව තමයි මේ ලෝකේ ඉන්න ලස්සනම කාන්තාව. ඇය මනුස්ස ස්වභාවයේ ලස්සන ඉක්මවලා ගිහිල්ලා දෙවියන්ගේ ස්වභාවයට පැමිණිලා නැහැ. ඒත් යසෝදරා සුජා දෙවඟනට වැඩිය ලස්සනයි කියනවා. ඒ නිසා
All right, Namo Buddhaya. Okay, so we'll first do some meditation, and then after that, if you have any questions, you can ask me any questions. Okay, just a few questions. Okay, or else we'll have to answer questions all night, right? I just wanted to share with you another small story. In the time of the Buddha, there was this Brahmin. Do you know what Brahmins are? Or Brahmins. So in India, you know the caste system? If you were to say in British English, caste system. So who were at the top? Kings, right? Kings and Brahmins. Kings and then Brahmins. And then merchants, business people. And then farmers. And then who is after the farmers? Like slaves, right? So it goes from top to bottom, right? So in those days, there were merchants, right? So, Brahmins. And they became at the top of the caste system. Okay? So what happened was, they didn't like the Buddha. Did they like monks? No, they didn't like monks, okay? So what happened was, one day there was this Brahmin wife, lady, okay? And she always did this one thing where when she tripped, do you trip sometimes? You stub your foot or your feet get mixed up? When she trips, you know what she says? As soon as she trips, she says, homage to the Buddha, homage to the Buddha, homage to the Buddha. She says that 3 times, okay? Because she's a disciple of the Buddha. Even though she's a Brahmin lady, she's a disciple of the Buddha. So she keeps saying it. She can't help it. Every time she trips, she says that. So one day when she was bringing the rice, she tripped and then she said, oh, Namo Tassa Bhagavata. She said, homage to the Buddha. And then on the other side was other Brahmins, other Brahmin uncles, you can imagine, Brahmin uncles, okay? So were they happy when they heard that? No, the uncles got upset. They got angry and they said, how could you say that about the Buddha? Right? We are Brahmins. So you know what? I'm going to go and talk to your Buddha. I'm going to talk to the Buddha and I'm going to make sure his doctrine will be defeated. I'm going to defeat the Buddha. She says, you can't defeat the Buddha, but try your best. So what did he do? He went to the Buddha and then he asks questions. He asks, what is the one thing, if you get rid of it, you can sleep easily? What is the one thing that if you get rid of it, You won't have any sorrow anymore. You won't be sad anymore. What's the one thing? So he's asking this to who? The Supreme Buddha. What's the one thing whose killing you approve? What's the one thing in the world that you would say, oh, okay, it's okay to kill that? Would the Buddha say that? Like, it's okay to kill that, right? You can imagine, right? So what was the first question? What should you get rid of to sleep at ease? What should you get rid of to be free from sorrow, to not be sad anymore? And what is the one thing that if we killed it, you'd have no problem for? So here the Buddha says, when you get rid of anger, you sleep at ease. When you get rid of anger, you don't get sad. Anger, especially hatred, revenge. Don't you sometimes get revenge at your friends? Like if they make fun of you in front of school, in front of your friends? You feel like getting revenge sometimes, right? So the Buddha says, O Brahmin, anger, revenge has a poisonous root and a honey tip. Killing anger is the one thing I would say, no problem. You can kill anger. Okay? So what does the Buddha say to kill? What should we kill? Kill who? Mr. Anger. Okay. Is that clear? So how do we kill Mr. Anger? By using loving kindness. Okay? So let's for a few moments practice some loving kindness. Okay? So everyone close your eyes. And if you have any questions, you can ask them after the meditation. Okay? So everyone close your eyes. Now imagine all the beings in the world. Humans just like us. Animals, small animals, cute animals, terrible animals, scary animals. Let's think about ghosts, scary ghosts, beautiful ghosts. Let's think about demons in the world. Let's think about heavenly beings, beautiful heavenly beings. Let's think about Brahmas, long live Brahmas. Let's think about all hell beings. To all these beings, we share loving kindness equally. Think about your enemy. Do you have an enemy? Is there one person at school you just can't stand to see? If there is someone like that, we share loving kindness to that person too. Let's share loving kindness to all beings equally. Let us purify our minds little by little. Let's purify our mind. Let our minds be free from anger, free from hatred. Let us kill this anger within us. Let us bring out the loving kindness within us. So for a few moments, listen carefully to what I say. And for a few moments, let's practice some loving kindness. May I be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May I live in peace. May I live happily. May I be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May I live in peace. May I live happily. May all beings in our house be free from anger, be free from ill will, be free from jealousy, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering. May all beings in this house live in peace. May all beings in this house live happily. May all beings in this city be free from anger, be free from ill will, be free from jealousy, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering. May all beings in this city live in peace. May all beings in this city live happily. May all beings in this province be free from anger, be free from ill will, be free from jealousy, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering. May all beings in this province live in peace. May all beings in this province live happily. May all beings in this country be free from anger, be free from ill will, be free from jealousy, be free from mental suffering, be free from physical suffering. May all beings in this country live in peace. May all beings in this country live happily. May all beings in this world be free from anger, Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May all beings in this world live in peace. May all beings in this world live happily. May all beings everywhere, whether living near or far, whether born or coming to birth, may all beings have happy minds, above, below, and all around, without hatred. Let us share this loving kindness. As a mother would risk her own life to protect her only child, even so towards all living beings, let us share this loving kindness. May all beings be free from anger. Be free from ill will. Be free from jealousy. Be free from mental suffering. Be free from physical suffering. May all beings live in peace. May all beings live happily. 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 Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, if you have any questions, you can write them down in the chat. Do you have any questions? Serious questions? So everyone's taking 8 precepts tomorrow, right? So everyone knows what 8 precepts are, right? So on that day, we're imitating arahants. So are we supposed to be like our normal selves? No, right? On the Poya day, we have to be much more calmer. We have to think about the arahants. They spent much of their day practicing meditation, practicing loving kindness, right? So we should try to imitate the arahants on the Poya day. Okay? All right. So I guess now's our time to see. Let's see who has any good deeds. Or is there Prabhash? Or did you have a question? Or is your hand just up?
Swami Wahansa,
Yes.
Has the Dhamma ended for many eons?
The Dhamma.
Yeah.
So the Dhamma always exists. Actually, I wanted to teach these children one day about the qualities of the Dhamma. Do you remember when we learned the qualities of the Buddha? Some of you might have been there. Itipiso Bhagava, in this way the Buddha is Arahang Samma Sambuddha, right? So the Dhamma is Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Sandittiko. Next one, Akaliko. What does Akaliko mean? Timeless. The Dhamma is timeless. Okay? So does that mean it'll never change? The Dhamma will always exist. Okay? But the Dhamma, people come to learn about the Dhamma when the Buddha comes. The Buddha appears. And then after a long period of time, the Dhamma, people don't come to hear it anymore. Okay? And so I guess that answers that question. Hey Sara, did you have a question? Hey Sara. Okay, very good. When will the next Buddha come? So after our lifespan goes down to 10 years. Okay? So our lifespan is going down, right? In the Buddhist time period, it was 120, 110, 100, 90, 80. Now what time are we at? People die at the age of 70, right? 80 years? So eventually it'll go down to 50, 40, 30, oh no, 20, 10. And then it goes back down, up 20, 30, 40, 50, 100, 200 years. People live for 200 years, 200 years, 300, 400. Can I get a 500? All the way up to 80,000 years. At that time is when the Maitri Buddha will come to the world. So is that like tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, or after a long time? After a long time. After a long time is when the Maitri Buddha will appear. So let's see if we can try to practice as much Dhamma as possible right now so that we can realize the Four Noble Truths. Okay? Okay. Okay, good. So the Buddha is not in heaven, by the way. The Buddha has escaped from all worlds, right? We learned this, right? Lokavidu, the Buddha knows how to go to all worlds and how to escape from all worlds, right? Because heavenly world it's very impermanent. It's not forever. It's just for X amount of time, right? Like 9 million years and so on and so forth, right? I think we learned that. I don't know if we learned that here. So, and then after the devas die, and then they don't have any more merits. So then they go to a bad destination, right? Okay, very good. So, okay, very good. So let us hear from Mahidi. Good deeds.
Day I observe